from the yellow crate and possibly a flanker. And that seems a little textbook for everyone. So with Skye, with Viper, you're able to really divvy that up.
Now, we have to spend some time looking at this attacking composition because this is something brand new for 100 Thieves since we last saw them in Challengers 1. We're getting Arena in the mix. We're getting the first time that we've seen them play a Viper, but I would say most notably, we're not going to see Ethan playing on the Sage, which has been such a key component of everything we've seen from 100 Thieves through Challengers 1. So this is all intents and purposes a brand new composition for 100 Thieves when it comes to playing in major tournaments.
I think it'll be good. Nitro, as soon as we saw Nitro with Ethan in there and his ability to kind of get onto different agents, flex what he does, we definitely see how the Nitro brain works a little better there.
Interesting. This is, I'm really curious to see what 100 Thieves has been cooking up, because we mentioned the fact that, hey, before we got into this tournament, in this matchup specifically, we're looking at 100 Thieves to probably get some good playtime throughout their run, no matter how long it lasts, on Icebox. They've been really versatile when it comes to which maps that they're playing, but okay, interesting setup coming forward. Ethan's going to get caught out here. You would feel like he will be. Asuna does well to find not just one, but a second and a third.
Oh,
and
my
well,
word.
The pistol exchange down Death Alley over here comes out in favor of 100 Thieves. It's just down Device over towards the A site, and he will have to not only take care of 3 opponents, he also will need to find the fuse coming through.
Oh, dink. Not enough, though. 4 for Asuna coming in on the Ghost. I remember him running through the front of A, getting a 4K with a frenzy on some of the tournaments back. His pistol rounds on Icebox just seem to be something to be reckoned with. And look at this party down the B channel here to start things off.
And this is something new for 100 Thieves. Going through their run through Challengers 1, when they played Icebox, they only won a single pistol, and it was when they were playing up against Cloud9. So the fact that they were kind of changing things up a little bit, not just compositionally, but like you mentioned, you're right, they were playing a lot over towards the A side initially, and this is something that Avril says a lot. It feels like, you know, it doesn't have the perfect statistic, but the majority of rounds on pistol will typically go over towards that A site for a lot of attacking teams. Not the case here. Asuna moving quickly forward, but Vice trying to cut off the play. Only able to take down one. Steal on his lonesome over towards the front side of A. Gets completely flashed up. So now it's down to 100 Thieves to commit towards this B site and try to hold off a 3v4 retake attempt from ANDBOX, which will be through the middle of the map.
This was sick. Look at the wall over in A that Ye placed. They could all get up and traverse the top side, get over, take down Steel, and they're coming in this death ball now. Let's see if it pays off with any of the weapons that they were able to pick up. If it helps them out here, Shift. This has been quite a start for them to get this round back on a thrifty. Here it goes.
A lot of information, though, from Nitro. The flash hits a little bit harder. Yay, Seb finding a couple eliminations. It's just down to Hiko. He does have 2 shock darts to play with. Knows exactly where that spike is planted, just in front of Yellow. Has to find the first elimination here cleanly, and does. But now going to the frenzy, finds a second. Not going to get the third. And the numbers for ANDBOX prevail. They can go shopping after this as well to get a couple of SMGs that they want.
What a neat little strategy to just overrun whoever's in that back A position trying to attack. Everyone on the Sage wall, everyone coming from the high road. It's unexpected, and they're able to pick themselves up a weapon that comes into really big play towards the end of the round. So ANDBOX has been able to squeeze these thrifties in. We're looking for them to control it throughout the game, Shift, right?
Absolutely, we are. I mean, it's just, we go back to that same sentiment that this ANDBOX team plays best when they have an economical advantage. Generally speaking, they win 68.5% of the rounds when they've got an eco advantage. But from the disadvantage, they're actually one of the worst teams at the tournament when they're playing from behind. So that's a huge round when it comes down to them trying to stabilize and maybe even gain that advantage here early. So 1-1 we go. There will still be weapons to play with here for 100 Thieves, granted that they have planted. So we'll see how they unfold. But again, lurking over towards A is Steel.
He is seeing if anybody's trying anything tricky this round. Here's the Trailblazer go out. He knows if Trailblazer's going out that close to him, that's not alone. Somebody is helping peek with that Trailblazer. So he knew somebody else was there to be peeking, backs off the play it safe. And they're going to quickly just grab some orbs here on the side of 100 Thieves.
That's all it was. Get Nitro, that extra orb closer to a Viper's
a little back
bit.
And forth.
Yep. And maybe even Steel going to IGL this play a little bit, saying, hey, they've gotten rid of the Trailblazer. They've used a Guiding Light. Let's try to see if maybe we can overwhelm just by utility over towards this A side. They're stacking up, looking for an execute. 45 seconds on the clock to do it.
Slowly going in. Everybody on the low road on this one. There we go. One's up. Looks like that's going to be Asuna who wants to take the top side of the puzzle here. We go over. Seb is ready. Oh, he's just in the nick of time.
Is he ready? Because looks away at the wrong moment. 3v3 situation. Seekers will come through for Boy. That will find a lot of information, but through the dark cover, Ethan for one, Ethan for a second. Vice now the last player left. He is fully healthy and has put the spike down. Finds one elimination. He can play for the clock here if he wants to. Down to a single shot. Hiko moving quickly. Goes for the plant. Vice wants to take away the high ground. Yeah, but he gets red. Beautiful shots from Hiko and 100 Thieves. They hold on to take the second round.
Extra stabby stabs. And back and forth. They're going punch for punch here. These are some of my favorite matches to watch. It definitely hurts the econ. So there's one turn for the Omens. Then we see Ethan have the same thing happen to him here just a second later after he gets 2 great frags. And Hiko, that flick up. Vice's eyes were up top to expect another person on that rope because he saw Hiko for a moment. But Hiko is able to get that flick off. 2-1 here as we're going to round 4. Remember, a map in favor of 100 Thieves, so they're carrying a bit of momentum here with these rounds.
And I'm really wondering if 100 Thieves will recognize that there is going to be some weapons online here for ANDBOX. Well, not going to make too much of a difference because Mata's the first one to drop. Hiko going to go straight to Hunter's Fury. Yay, an opportunity maybe to open up some space and find a counter pick, and there it is. Takes down Ethan. Will use the healing orb to self-sustain closer towards 100 HP. But again, the problem here is the arsenal is just so darn strong for 100 Thieves. They find Vice, and now an opportunity for them to move quickly over towards the B site.
Definitely a lot of heads ready for this one. Oh, boy. Hiko turns the corner. That's 1. That's 2. Everybody just got to get out there for the firing range. Family photo from 100 Thieves onto ANDBOX, and they get a 3K for Hiko there. He picks up quite a bit. Any drops need to happen. He can facilitate. But they're looking good after a few consecutive rounds here. And the team comes right out, and everybody sets up for the shots.
And you can even see it's not quite in picture there, but a leer was right over the top of the head of Hiko. So that had to be dealt with by those ANDBOX members, giving him an extra chance. It's an impressive 3-kill to be sure, but those kills, no matter what was happening, was going to go the way of 100 Thieves with how stacked up they were able to just, essentially, like you mentioned, family photo, firing a line, whatever colorful terminology you want to use to pin that one up. But ANDBOX still are able to afford weapons coming into this next round. A very pivotal one for them as they do have some ultimates to also play with. I think the big question mark is how does Vice want to try to use this Viper's Pit, if at all, this round?
Exactly. I think Boy's hanging on. Actually does not have Trailblazer, so this would be a round for Viper's Pit to come in very, very big for the side of 100 Thieves. If they can keep him up, it's out. And they aren't going to have very much that'll be able to find out what's inside that pit. Mata taking a few down as they make their chances a little greater.
Ooh. Beautiful little surrounding play here from the side of ANDBOX. They've got a lot of utility to try to clear out this Viper's Pit, including Boy, who could come through, maybe even flash for the retake of it. Mata up top, he can play around this. There's the guiding light. Now you're going to go to the showstopper, just trying to see if you can find anybody. It will find Nitro, Steel with a couple of eliminations, but 100 Thieves cannot hold on. Beautiful retake and a lot of quick flank pressure from ANDBOX to get them their second round.
Awesome stuff. All damaging util, no find util. They were able to still get in there and make it count. They had to make it, and they only had a few members to hit, right? If it's a 5v5 retake, you have a greater chance of your utility hitting somebody on the other team. They only had a few members of 100 Thieves in there to find, so a great job at utilizing that to get the return on investment. And again, we're going kind of back and forth in rounds here. We could see the economy of this game getting flip-flopped quite a bit as we get into round 6, 3-2. As ANDBOX is kind of going to carry over the Spectre here, but they do have mostly Phantoms.
Okay, going to get an aggressive play here from Seb. Slow Orb will deny the corner peek. Also, the Aldrin will be denied. Same with, I think, a Recon Bolt was also in play there. So Seb is trying to stay underneath this. No, not going to be able to. He's going to have to try to shrouded step away. Not going to be allowed. Beautiful recovery from 100 Thieves, knowing that that could be a play. And now it's on the Yay, trying to hold their life through back yellow. Recon Bolt will give away the position, but still finds one. That's on the spike carrier. And now Mata has rotated over. ANDBOX, how are you holding this? Things have been beautiful for them so far. Good exchanges coming through, but Steel to the middle of the map, freely able to open up a little bit extra space. But it does still, at the end, come down to Steel 1v3 and nowhere near the spike.
Some of my favorite plays there by Ye. You're getting you're pinged by a Cypher dart or sonar, but you're still taking the fights because you're using the ping to your advantage in positioning and what the enemy is seeing here. Quick shot, Gets a ping, moves back out, waits on it, but as soon as it would have been a shift in ping, he goes out to peek again. And I love watching stuff like that. Little mind games on the opponent when they think they have the better idea.
Also, I'm just going to give a little typical moment to Mata to put the Nikes on and just rush over to help at B as soon as Seb falls. It's a beautiful rotation to make sure ANDBOX could still hold strongly in front of B. Similar setup. We've seen this wall defensively from Vice almost every single round, but this time he's going to be tagged up. Hunter's Fury coming down. Hiko hits 1. Hiko hits 2. First blood once more for 100 Thieves.
Tough to get away at that distance, especially against a Sova like Hiko's. And they'll play this one out. We'll say, let's figure out a little more. Oh, darts like that just cause an eye chaos, right? It bounces so much, hits real quick, and then you're not even sure where it is to shoot it. Gets a ping off on that. Asuna creeping through the kitchen as he cooks up a little bit of dinner here for 100 Thieves, and Seb is down.
ANDBOX have really not put any defensive members at all through the middle of the map, largely. Unless they're playing like this through the flank, of which Nitro tested but taken down. Mata also moving off the flank. Trying to see if he can open up some extra space. Guiding Light will try to flash over the top, giving Mata maybe a chance to move forward. Paranoia, though, will connect. Spam shots. Oh, boy. Where are you going to go? Not many opportunities to get out of this one. Going to have to take the fight, and as he does, he falls. And, boy, looking for some bonus kills. Not going to find anything either. It'll be a thrifty for 100 Thieves. And with that, 3 ARs picked up. That's a beautiful round for 100 Thieves economically.
I love what we're seeing here. It's not just an A hit. It's not just a B hit. Look at all the mid work that 100 Thieves has been doing here. A lot of times when there is a mid in any map in tactical FPS, that controls all the rotations. It controls what's happening. You can split it off. Here we're seeing Steel put that turret down, watch mid, watch A, watch a bit of B if the team hadn't gone there, and they're always taking a portion of mid, getting so much information, and you saw there 4 of them were able to capitalize on that round. Here, back to a bit of guns on both sides, and ANDBOX says we're going to push to get some info this round.
They've been aggressive through A more often than not defensively, and a lot of it does come through the fact that you've got this Viper wall that comes through, so realistically, 100 Thieves are going to always be questioning if there is going to be aggression through mid or through green off the defense, but the one spot that they've been largely overwhelmed has been over here towards A. And the regrowth will come through to get Ye backed up to full HP as he finds an elimination with the operator. So 100 Thieves, again, caught in a weird spot. Seekers will scout a lot of this out. Ye will use that to their advantage for a second. And this round not looking all that great for 100 Thieves, as all 5 members of ANDBOX are very aware where these last 200 team members are.
Absolutely, and this goes perfectly with to the opposite of what I just said. Is without that turret there, look at this flank. Without that sentinel behind, without everything that they control in mid, ANDBOX gets to run over the strategy. They started off beautifully, they end beautifully here. Mata with the 3K coming up on that raise as he throws one, just because.
And coming off of a thrifty loss, a flawless full buy is great news for ANDBOX to stabilize everything. We're essentially deadlocked. Dead even 4-4, but the economy is also going to be pretty largely even across the board. So now an opportunity for one of these teams to maybe try to pull away, maybe just a touch. And see
I like
Nitro.
that you say that.
Yeah.
Because there is an opportunity for Ye.
I see what you did there, Riff.
I see what we did here. Too much freak, sorry. Go ahead.
All I know is that you're a guy who likes his low-hanging fruit. That's when it comes to wordplay. That's all we've learned so far. Showstopper aggressively coming through. Does find some damage, but no kills. Not to make too much of a difference. Seb takes advantage of that. Moving forward to find the elimination. Mata has to back down to the Lear. And 100 Thieves again through the middle of the map, making their play over towards B, but Mata has learned his lesson. Holds this push responsible. Boy through the middle of the map, also able to find one. The second peek from Ye there, and successful just down the Nitro. He does get just a slight peek off the toxic screen. So still doable for what would technically be a 1v3.
ANDBOX doing a great job at winning these straight up dry peak 1v1s. We saw a bit of those going to the wayside for 100 Thieves last time, but the ANDBOX just feeling much more confident here, refreshed, and Cobweb shaking off for map 2 of Icebox. Nitro able to find one, almost a second one, but that's going to be Vice. That's going to be another round for ANDBOX, and that's going to be the lead.
This has been such a back and forth affair, and I'll be candid, in surprising fashion. I mean, we have not seen ANDBOX play this map against a major opponent in what feels like forever. And I don't know.
And I think that plays to their advantage, right?
Yeah, that very well could. I mean, they're coming with essentially this new pick with Sky into the mix for them, and not new in the scheme of NA Valorant, but new for them. And they're finding a lot of value with it. I mean, yeah, he's only 4-7, but those 5 assists actually says a lot more than I feel like would normally be commented on. And on the other side, you got to remember that this is a brand new composition for 100 Thieves when it comes down to what they were playing as recently as Challengers 1's main event.
A lot of that second nature play that you would have Nitro doing or Ethan doing on second agents, or on the original agents, I should say, they're used to playing, it changes here. You might not be ready for the fastest instant. That's where they're taking advantage of the side of ANDBOX here. Mata able to get a few quick kills before the Sheriff does too much damage from Steel.
These trades are fine, though, because it turns pistols into ARs, and that's big news. Vice is going to try to lurk his way into blue. This is all about timing. He's playing a corner that you wouldn't normally expect. Finds one, but now a little bit caught off. Need to get this trade if you're 100 Thieves, and they will. So we stay 2v2 and eliminate the fact that this was essentially a thrifty round starting for 100 Thieves because they're back to full ARs, and Hiko has got himself another Harness Fury.
You just fuel cutting off both sides of the map whenever these Vipers want it. Nitro using it 50% for his poison orb here. They're going to try to move through this. Oh my word. They're splitting the map.
The Trailblazer doesn't see anything at B, though, so ANDBOX are going to rotate back over to A. They're going to be behind this play. They're still taking their time, but they should have some insinuation that this should be an A play. Looking like they do want to play for a full retake, though. They're going to let this get down first. And that will be everything they need. That Viper Spit will tell them everything.
Spike planted.
So knowing shots are coming from that side, they're probably going to be together. No reason for them to split up here. So they just have to be cognizant of what's going down. It's going to be the paranoia, really, I think, that could play into Seb's and ANDBOX's favor here.
Yeah, no guiding lights. Trailblazer also spent. There's the paranoia. Also a dark cover, trying to siphon off as much of this Viper's Pit as possible. Here comes the take. Snake Bite to come down. That will find a bit of damage. Everyone's low, but Boy still finds the first elimination. Hiko playing slowly, waiting for the next tag. Recon Bolt to come through. We'll find information on Bolt. Gets the first, knows that the second's around the corner, and Hiko clutches things up. 3 in a row for him. The 1v2 comes through, and 100 Thieves square things back up at 5.
Hiko will tell you, if you're on his team, don't throw those smokes. But when he's against it, I'm sure he was a big fan of that Omen smoke. He got so much in return on investment out of somebody else's smoke there. Able to dart through. Sova is one of the biggest counters to Omen, right? You find that playing elbow and bind, you just dart through everything. You smoke them off, you're good to go. So, you know, that was great to see from Hiko. He played it patient because he knew he had the upper hand versus the agents he was also fighting.
Okay, here comes the dance of the devil again. 100 Thieves, Hunter's Fury, not going to take down Vice. Hits him down to 45 HP. There should be enough tools to heal them back up, and you're seeing that there is a rotation from Boy, but he knows he's got to be careful of Kitchen. The shot's a little windy inside, apparently. So now as Seb is going to be tested, he's the furthest one forward through green. Ethan's already through Kitchen. It just feels like 100 Thieves are setting up Hell's Kitchen back here. I mean, Mata's going to even go the step beyond by using the showstopper to clear. Only goes 1 for 1, so that's not going to find enough value, and now Ye's forced to essentially save this off. No chance for a retake.
Hanging. So this is where we also see Ye get a 3K, and I think that's why 100 Thieves is being so cautious about pushing him. Honestly, we were talking about it earlier when I was watching him. After the people keep chasing him, I literally wrote down clean operator. You see it time after time, and he's not afraid to kind of play it the way he plays his jet. Obviously, he'll play a little bit safer. Now I'm building him up. Caster Curse. But he won't be able to just dash out, but he'll still take these shots where you don't think he'll be peeking. There was another one. He puts himself out in the open and kind of pays for it. But those are the things. He tries to catch you off guard, get another one, but he loses it that time. That's going to be now over to Steel, and he's going to be able to sit pretty on his econ while he grabs that operator.
Now an opportunity in this last round of the half for 100 Thieves to largely break up, which has just been a tug of war between these two squads. You see what ANDBOX is able to play with economically. Pistol upgrade for Seb, SMGs for Boy and Vice, and for Mata. It's just down to Ye, really. I mean, you lost the showstopper last round, so there's really not even a lot to play with when it comes to ultimates. You're going to have to hope that maybe Boy can find these Seekers, and you can see ANDBOX is playing aggressively. Recon Bolt will scout this out. Meanwhile, defensively at A, Vice will earn his Viper's Pit and then immediately put that down. So it's going to have to essentially force 100 Thieves to either clear or move the opposite direction, and as they do, A finds the first elimination. That's going to be Mata, an opportunity maybe to collect this weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Good eye on need and collect that. They're all sitting on Spectres of Frenzy for Seb right now, so even being able to get that frag is huge for this round. A quick Viper's Pit is going to hold off most of what's happening here at A, as Vice is just enjoying that smell right now. Figuring out who he wants to take down. Oh, so it's going to be a lockdown on top of the Viper's Pit, hoping to push him out.
Sentry turret also down. Vice is going to push through this. It looks like he's got to make a decision. Technically, he could try to finesse through this Viper's Pit, but he's going to get caught, and he's detained in a terrible position. Here comes 100 deep. Boy's able to respond to one up close. Vice staying alive all the meanwhile. Seekers are even actually able to push back 100 Thieves a bit. Resurrection also comes through freely. Hiko, last one now left alive. Everything's gone wrong here for 100 Thieves, and Decay down to a single point of health. ANDBOX collapse, and they tie up the half 6-6. What an incredible recovery from ANDBOX after the start they had.
That was fantastically done. Seeing those rounds where you are literally challenging your opponents right into the Viper's Pit with that lockdown, and it kind of caused so much chaos that we saw unnatural play from the side of 100 Thieves. You know, somebody got locked down, they were all running around. So it's just plays like that where you throw so much chaos into it. Sometimes 100 Thieves can't get control, and ANDBOX there was really able to get the round into their favor. That's what we're talking about, ANDBOX's advantage. That's what we're talking about, them kind of playing to their own ebb and flow of the game. It just seems like nobody can stop them when they do things like that.
Right here. Well, can they carry that tune into the second half is the real question here. See the opening stack up from both teams. Largely focused mid-map. Dark cover will be the only thing that separates them. Ethan's already inside of it. Will find one. Falls. Boy looking for a second. And boy, was he find it. But Asuna from behind, not going to find anything. So opening engagements looking very good up the top. Like you mentioned, no problem to take care of Steel. And everything's down to Nitro. Tagged up to a single shot. Beautiful headshot on device, but a lot more work to be done.
Spike planted.
Such a satisfying skin. Little pops. All right, see what we can do with this. Goes around. A frenzy bullet takes him down. So he's got to play all these very tough angles. And he'll probably wait for a final run out here from somebody. They probably take spawn. And we just hang out here for now. So looking at what will happen for the second half, I hope we see that ANDBOX continues to kind of draw out utility from 100 Thieves. I want to see a little bit of that play, the long rounds here for ANDBOX, where they figure out what's going on, who's playing where, and then they execute. Because it seems like 100 Thieves is very quick to adapt and understand what a team's doing. So I want ANDBOX to be the first one on that.
And just to kind of throw maybe the opposite side to maybe also influence that conversation.
Absolutely.
Nitro, first time. Viper, that we've seen them play this a long time. How does Nitro want to set up? I think is another important conversation, because we know that Vice is going to be very aware of the normal lineups when it comes to Viper and how they would want to play around that. So it'll be really curious, I think, to see how 100 Thieves want to set up. And this time they will put that wall down initially over towards A, and it's a 5-man stack, and it's going to be aggression, but the guiding light very well could potentially slow this all down. Mata moving quickly with the double blast pack move, but Hiko responds. So it's 1-for-1 exchange. Not bad overall for 100 Thieves. But you mentioned it, ANDBOX read the information and say, we're not interested in going to that full stack.
Yeah. The quick Trailblazer in through the wall, making sure. So it actually gets taken down, so they do know there's a few more in the back of the site. And it's going to be the rush over towards A. So here we go. Info pull, B. Info pull, quick rush over. One trailer is going to be in kitchen. Nice job. And oh my word, what a dart from Hiko.
That was the paranoia that was sent out as well from Seb. So the geometry paying off from Hiko's POV. Oh my goodness. Timing perfect, but the spike still gets planted. Aldrin was still banked up. And oh my goodness, 100 Thieves are going to find so much information off of this. Asuna's going to come through mid to clear things up. ANDBOX are a little bit stuck. Vice is going to have to do something special, and maybe he just does enough. Finding a couple eliminations. It's Boy for a 1v2. No weapon advantage, but he does have a health pool advantage overall. Long range shots, beautiful on the Boy. And now a second gets Nitro from behind, and the clutch from Boy keeps ANDBOX on 2 in a row.
Those are much needed rounds here. 100 Thieves may have a playbook of how to play from behind, but hopefully we get to see how ANDBOX starts to strike from ahead at this point. We are going to see a few Spectres there still. Seb actually is able to get to his Phantom. He was just thinking about the cash money. And we have full util on that side. Looks like 100 Thieves are going to be able to bring the same thing to the table. Ultimate now for Boy, so they can suss out what's going on if they don't get info right away. Again, they should play a little patient here.
No Leers for Asuna. Will that maybe lend them to maybe trying to get a little bit aggressive here? Boy doesn't see anything with the guiding light. Aldrone scouts things out. Asuna will get aggressive. Tries to push forward, but does not have an opportunity to capitalize on the angle. Guiding light to push them back in place. Finds first blood. A huge engagement favoring ANDBOX through the middle of the map. And with that extra kill off screen towards the A site, they're going to move right into Ethan's pathway. But he does well to find at least one elimination. Staying safe in the dark cover, he could still contest this plan.
A little ahead of themselves there as they did not have full coverage on the back of the site. We see Ye get taken down, and now the retake here coming in from 100 Thieves slowly happening. Boy with a great spot. It's going to be the Ares coming down on him, but Hiko finishes that. Is good for one trade there. It looks like they are going to try to get back into the site now with Ethan starting.
Ethan's cleared off so much at the back of the site that Hiko should be able to freely rotate in. Toggles for the defuse. Beautiful read, but a vice response. Now it's down to Hiko. Finds the first 1v1. Boombot needs to be destroyed. Hiko again, toggling for the spike. Gets the information on where Vice is planted, but he's got more snake bites to play with. Now has to hold it. Not going to get an opportunity. Vice, easy. Third kill in the round for him. ANDBOX. My goodness, their offensive half has looked incredible so far.
The execution, the decision-making, I think, is really turning the tide here in the last moments. We'll see a few frags happen that maybe shouldn't in the beginning of the round, but once they get the spike down, the post-plant for ANDBOX has been super strong. They're leaving people that need to be alive with utility to keep people off the spike. A textbook in the end. And you can't really get too crazy when you're playing against 100 Thieves here. If this is working, you got to keep using it here. We did see a few times they were getting ahead of themselves on ascent. They kept walling up towards B, and 100 Thieves attack that. Here, they're divvying up how they're taking A each time, so it's working for ANDBOX.
So the Aldrone does get a connection. This would be normally the time that Hiko pulled the Hunter's Fury. Yes! Finds another connection. First blood on the Seb. And this is an eco round for 100 Thieves. Oh, Mata, how do you get that one through the top of the toxic screen? Now moving aggressively! Oh my goodness, Mata! What in the world?
It's what you have to see, Shift. Honestly, when you're on these rounds and you're able to farm ecos, do not give your opponents an inch. If you know you can jump forward like that and you're going to take a few pistol shots, you should be doing it. Here, running through with each other. Look at this death ball right now. And they should be fearless. That's the kind of message you need to send on rounds like this.
Oh, and Mata, I mean, look, yeah, it's versus just pistol upgrades, but this triple is out of this world. The first,
that's a feel-good vibe
just
right
through
there.
The toxic screen, little plays, little trapeze artist, and then the snapper onto Hiko for a headshot, mind you. Unbelievable showcase of ability for Mata, who's now 20-11 with 4 assists.
He's feeling good. Asuna's there at 13-13. It does seem like we had the Phoenix versus Phoenix, but the Raze versus Reyna here is definitely starting to take off a little bit, and he's going to do it once again. Flies through. Frequent flyer miles almost coming in for Asuna, and it's going to be Mata getting himself to safety here in a little bit of a maze on A as he keeps himself safe, and the rest of the team might come to help. They might actually back up and hit B with that pressure.
Steel, the entire time, has stayed alive and completely concealed. Got the operator, just switches off but finds the kill into Mata, and look at the information. With that, now all of a sudden 100 Thieves have rotated quickly over to B. Nitro and Ethan for a couple. That will actually deny the plant. Pulling away from it is Ye, and as he does, finds 2 good eliminations. Boy looking for information off the Trailblazer, but is the last one left alive for a 1v3, and is caught in a very weird spot through these containers. Not going to expect Nitro as close as he was. 3 kills for Nitro. And that'll be a much-needed round for 100 Thieves to get this to a 7-10 tally.
It's a good point that you say that. A very much-needed round as we're getting closer to that 12th round for ANDBOX. This is a great place to start to attack the economy of ANDBOX, get them off of this much money. You can see they're spending quite a bit to come in here, full util all around. So this one, if they do lose, they'll get that 1900 first round. So they may not be able to full buy next round. So we'll see if this is enough work by 100 Thieves over the past few rounds to make sure another win in their favor would put an econ hurt onto ANDBOX. Here we are towards B once again, Shift.
The early Viper's pick going to come down. What do you want to do with this offensively if you're ANDBOX? Because you do have the ability to clear some of this with the Sky utility. So the Guiding Light came through first and foremost, and they're going to try to clear it. They're just going to push back Nitro at least a little bit. See if they can maybe find some information. There's the second Guiding Light to flash through. But actually, the push will stall. And a lot of it maybe just be considered the fact that Seb has gotten into a very good position mid-map to watch any rotations, of which point of contact is on the way. Aldrone will not see too much. Seb, though, still caught. One exchange will be there, but the number is favoring 100 Thieves defense.
Just trying to get info everywhere, coming up with trades. I think they're realizing now that ANDBOX is playing a little safer, so they're able to get these pushes while they're still in their spawn, honestly. When a team is pushed back that far, you're almost guaranteed to find one or two at a time because the angles that they're watching are so broad. Somebody's watching to the right, somebody's watching to the mid and to the left. So you're finding those trades back there. 100 Thieves is much more confident to say, let's find a few more because we'll probably only find one or two at a time, and there's more of us on a deep angle. So really well played there, just kind of textbook back and forth, and 100 Thieves felt they had confidence to push forward, and they did. There's that econ I was talking about for ANDBOX. They're hurting here, so they'll try to get back in it as we get into round 19.
This should be round number 9 for 100 Thieves. Only a 25% win rate when it comes to light buy versus full buy for the side of ANDBOX. And well, you're saying why? Asuna going to get aggressive.
Yeah.
Finding the first elimination. Asuna up top, not going to get a second, so hold on. Ye's able to keep one in response. They're all ultimates to play with, including Seekers, if maybe ANDBOX can move far enough forward. And there they are. Steel will be scouted out by this. Tries to take a shot to the smoke first, but is going to be backed up. ANDBOX also going to commit not just the Viper's Pit, but also the Resurrection. But Steel able to find one in response. Now the lockdown to come through. Quick retake on the way here for 100 Thieves, but the wall should block a lot of this retake. Funneling 100 Thieves into one spot. 4v3 situation, still favoring 100 T. But they've got to come through this Viper's Pit and still clear to get a defuse.
There goes the lockdown. You have Sova's blind. You have Ethan's find. I'm sorry, either other way around, but they're coming in here with that dart, with that paranoia. There's a shot from Steel as he drops down the fast quick scope. And it looks like it's up to Ye now to find his way back in. It was going to be a tough one, but 100 Thieves just swarmed the site here, Shift.
That's such a feels bad. When you're sitting in the corner, you're thinking you're safe. Steel's searching for information while still staying scoped in, and Vice right next to him. They literally could have hugged each other. Thank you. Somebody give our observers a raise. That's beautiful.
If only you could. The only thing that would be there, right, is the scope sound if there was one.
Yeah,
you'd be like,
absolutely.
oh wait, that sounds abnormal, but it's not there.
It's clicking
it's
in my
not
head.
the secrecy exactly. The clicking is someone's chamber racking another 50 cal. 10-9 here as we come in around 20. ANDBOX trying to stave off 100 Thieves who are coming back ever so slowly. Another push. Oh, the collapse. It's not going to happen though, Shift.
And you have to get out of dodge here if you're Hiko. You absolutely cannot stay in the middle of the map anymore. You've got to essentially hard commit. Who are you going to trust to hold a site by themselves?
Yep.
Steel is actually just going to trust his sentry turret to hold on to A, actually. So this is a bit of a gamble here for 100 Thieves, but I don't know if they have a choice. I mean, this is a 3v4, and you have no idea where ANDBOX is going at the moment.
Doing a great job divvying up what they're doing, keeping 100 Thieves thinking. Hiko trying to stay so he can be a transition between A and B right now, but it looks like he's going to start committing towards that one side as he leans heavily towards B. The smoke start to come out. Paranoia there coming in from Seb as they try to commit slightly with the Viper's wall on B.
They have time to wrap this back if they want to, if you're ANDBOX.
Exactly.
And it looks like they might want to. Well, they're considering it. Seb is going to work to the middle of the map, maybe to call things out, but now the Trailblazer's coming through, so this likely will stick towards a B execute. The only thing that's really kind of off kilter for this execute overall is Seb, but he gets found, and simultaneously, Steel finds elimination. So now the numbers flip the opposite way. Numbers advantage here for 100 Thieves. Hiko still has a recon bullet as he earns it, and a shock dart to work with, but not even gonna need it because Steel, I thought for a second as we swapped on, he found both. Had some help from his friends, and we go tied at 10.
I think that one for ANDBOX, they take a little too long there to start getting in. They had a lot of positioning, a little bit of a fake plant, figure out what'll happen, but you hear the steel turret go up, right? So that means they're going to have trigger on anybody that comes around the corner. So it becomes a little bit more difficult then to assert themselves on that site, knowing there's probably a rotation coming over. I like the idea where you're thinking they are going to back up. I thought they would as well, but in comms like that, sometimes we will, sometimes we won't. All Trailblazer, it does seem like they got a little discombobulated wanting to hit that. It leads us to our 21st round, all tied up shift, and it is going to be a pretty big eco here with a Phantom in the hands of Seb for ANDBOX.
And man, I don't want to harp on it, but I was about to say, like, is Seb the one you want with that weapon if you do carry it? I mean, he's 4-16, not finding a lot of value with the Omen as of yet.
I mean, you do want that gun on someone that's going to be confident, that will want to take that shot. And, sometimes second-guessing yourself is something that happens on the day.
Yeah.
And,
especially with Mata one off of a showstopper, that's going to be your biggest piece of kill potential going into this thrifty round here, as that Phantom was only just playing with Eco on the tac pause, but as we get out of it, things will go back to full Sheriff gameplay. It's going to be a really tough round here for ANDBOX. You got to find a first pick. That's just it's the only way you get through this in my mind.
Honestly, Thrifties, they've been in their favor shift. They've been able to find some great shots with Ye starting off on a beautiful Sheriff, Mata being there as well with a few 3Ks. We'll see if they can start to creep in here themselves. It looks like 100 Thieves does want to give up a bit of that site, so they're ready for the retake. It's if it is ANDBOX ready to replay that. There it is, one from Mata to start us off.
But Ethan up top, it's a blender. He finds two, Asuna the third. Boy and Vice, a little bit stuck. Asuna pushing forward, even using the dismiss to check the corners. And, well, Steel has found Vice. Mid-map, no chance to get out of there. A clean round for 100 Thieves. Starts off okay for ANDBOX, but it's just so difficult when you're in between those little containers outside of the site.
I'd like that. I like that a lot. But you could see as well, 100 Thieves seems like they felt comfortable giving up that space. They had an answer for something if anybody was in there. And they did. Like you said, the blender. It was a pretty great description for it. 100 Thieves now take the lead on this map. And it looks like they're going to try to keep pushing this here. It is a full buy from both now as round 22 comes about. And 100 Thieves is looking to put this on series point if they can take this round.
Aggression here from Mata. Ooh, a little cheeky play off the paint shells and then the blast pack to get an angle, but cannot take down Asuna. You do have the showstopper to play with, but no double blast pack play going to be available, so don't expect that to be the execute tool here for ANDBOX. Same cross dissection Viper walls as well over towards B. Those are the exact same placements we had from the prior round, so be interesting to see if that will change some consideration up. Asuna feeling pressure has automatically hit into the Empress, and ANDBOX will take this time to retreat. Maybe let that expire before they want to execute.
Yeah. They're considering as well there's going to be a push mid. Hiko threw a very early owl drone down, which was usually followed by Asuna 90% of the time. So again, you can already see Seb going back to check to see if that's happening. And they actually don't cross sightline just yet. Asuna is pushed up with Empress, and they're looking to make some info plays here towards that mid side. Steal. Oh my, so brazen.
How good has he been with these essentially dry peeks through dark covers? On the Sentinel, by the way. I mean, there is no escape tool. This is a lot of information off of sound here, though, as ANDBOX rotate through tube up to kitchen. Nitro already ready for it. Also an opposite angle, blocking things down. Void does trade and gets through. Nitro with a couple of shots, not going to get the better of Seb, so hold on a second here. 3v3 situation. Health pools are abbreviated across the board. But the one player that's fully healthy is Hiko. Uses the shock dart to his advantage, takes down Boy. Next one coming through. Hiko just spamming through the toxic screen, finds this second time becoming a problem. Seb has to plant, like mentioned. The paranoia will come through, and Hiko will find the easy third. 100 Thieves tested, but still true. As they hold on to the B side and will put themselves on match point.
Right there is a great round to show why it takes so much coordination and utility to take B. And it's not to say ANDBOX didn't have it, but how long it needs to last, where it needs to go, right? All of it's kind of thwarted by Hiko coming back with a Sova and a few shock darts. I think that's why a lot of people will shy away from B if there's quite a few to fight, and we'll see the A takes. There's more angles to work. A few angles you can feel more comfortable in while you play it, but B is that back to yellow, hold the site, or take a bunch of util in the face, and we saw that utilized there. 100 Thieves now shift on that series point.
This is do or die as well. I mean, we haven't talked about it a lot, but you just do not want to be in the lower bracket after the first round. But only the top 2 qualify for Iceland. So ANDBOX backs up against the wall, but do still have weapons to play with. Showstopper gonna come through quickly from Mata. Right on in, finds one, no problem. A little bit of self-damage, but he'll be okay. But Asuna stays alive. No, Mata turns onto him. A beautiful second kill. Even though Nitro has the exchange, the Seekers will force him to give up some of the sight. And Hiko is gonna go right into a Hunter's Fury. He's gonna connect again, but this time onto Ye. Oh, he was only 1 away from being able to grab a resurrection, but that will be off the table. 3v3, have to hold on to this post planet for ANDBOX.
That Trailblazer alerts Nitro. 1 is in sight. Sky tries to get away. Hiko drops Seb in the instant. Hiko with the 3. Hiko looking for a 4th, and they're going to pressure down. He gets the 4K shift. I cannot believe it.
I mean, I want to say I can't either, but it's Hiko. So part of me says, I believe it. I mean, that's so good.